Okay. All right. And since April is Financial Literacy Month, we wanted to take the time to discuss to recognize the stress in our lives, talk about some de-stressing techniques, and then how to make better financial choices to help alleviate some of the stress. So I figured we start with, and I think two of you are out walking, so this might be a little hard. So if you can't do it, don't do it. It's Wednesday, it's the middle of the week. We're probably all already feeling some sort of stress. So one of the easiest de-stressing techniques we can do at work, at our desk, at home, and whatever we're doing, as long as we're not driving, is some deep breathing. So if we want to close our eyes, sit up straight, and start with some deep breaths in, and we're going to do a count of four. One, two, three, four. Breathing in, hold it, and then release it slowly. Four, three, two, one. One more time, in to the count of four. One, two, three, four. Hold it, release. Four, three, two, one. And one more. In for a four count. One, two, three, four. Hold it and release. Four, three, two, one. And sometimes, yes, it's something that simple can make you be like, oh, okay, I feel better. And helps you get out of that mode of rah, 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 especially middle of your workday. It gets hectic, feel like you're being pulled in 25 different directions. Just taking a minute to do that and just help us recenter and de-stress ourselves a little bit. So, as mentioned, finances is one of the biggest stressors in most people's lives. Approximately 70% of all Americans report that they feel some sort of financial stress. That's a crazy number. Um, and I'm sure some feel it more than others. And some of those things that cause the financial stress is things like debt, mounting debt, income instability, and that could be the job that you have doesn't pay enough, or you just have a whole hard time holding down a job, period. Um, Economic difficulties, which we know we're all going through right now with y'all president and his, you know, uncertainties and the things he's causing and the market jumping all over the place. Increased responsibility. That could be, let's say you're married and your partner either lose their income or their income decreases. You take on the responsibilities of an aging parent and you have to start taking care of them. Unexpected expenses. I think we all know that your car and your house wait until you got a little bit stashed away to say,
Mhm.
need attention over here. Hello, hello, hello. Um, a lack of savings. And that's hard for a lot. If 77% are saying they are struggling, then it's hard for people to save. And then savings doesn't even seem like it's an option. And of course, we know there's ways to learn to start somewhere, but it can feel overwhelming if you're struggling with income instability and retirement concerns. So, some ways that we can recognize that our body is in constant stress. Sometimes we consider these things as normal because it's there every day when we wake up. So it has become our new norm, but they're not normal and they actually often mean that your body is in stress and we need to pay attention to it. Pain in the body, oftentimes it presents as headaches. Sometimes it's phantom pain. So just these random pains, we don't know where they're coming from, why they're happening. They come and go to the doctor, they're telling us there's nothing there. Sometimes that's just stress and phantom pains. Consistent high blood pressure. I would urge you to not just have your blood pressure taken at the doctor's office. If you don't have a machine at home, please get one and take your blood pressure at least once a week to keep an eye on it for yourself. Um, if you're pretty healthy for the most part and you only go to the doctor's office once a year, that's once a year you're getting your blood pressure checked. So many things can go wrong and be out of control if we're only checking it once or twice a year. Digestive issues, um, gas, bloating, stomach just feeling really weird, diarrhea, constipation, all of that can be a sign of the body being in distress. They say our gut is our second brain, so it controls a lot. And when you're off balance, your gut microbiome starts getting unbalanced also. And then mental fatigue and lack of concentration. So anyone that does a lot of thinking for work knows that you can be mentally stressed and just feel like you don't know which way to turn. And it can turn into, I just can't concentrate enough to get anything done because I just I'm mentally fatigued. And that's a sign that we need to take a break also. So some of the techniques we can use to de-stress when we're feeling some of these symptoms, especially if you're just like, it could just be stress. Let me just do a few things before I go run to the doctor. Let me tap in and see what I can maybe work out here. We want to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, and that's the system that's responsible for our relaxation and the digestion also. So ways you can do that is something as simple as holding a piece of ice in your hand, especially if you're feeling anxious. It'll help bring your regulate your body and bring you back under control. Deep breathing, like we just did. Some light walking. So I think Dee and Tamika are both out walking. That is great for stress. You do want to be careful that it's light walking and not running in something that's putting stress on your body. Because although moving our body is good for us, things like running actually raise our cortisol, which raises our stress. So if you're exercising for stress reasons, you actually want low impact exercises. Meditation or prayer, quiet time, at least 10 minutes per day. That can be in the morning, evening, middle of the day. If 12 o'clock, the job has driven you crazy and you just need to take a mental break, just go find 10 minutes to just still your mind and get quiet. And watching comedy. So instead of watching the news or paying attention to all the trauma and tragedy on Facebook, watching something that's funny and makes you laugh. Those are all simple and effective ways to de-stress. So we're going to pass it on to Janelle to tell us how, after we've recognized that it is stress and we've built in some practices to de-stress our bodies, what can we do to make our finances not be such a stressor in our lives? And we all know this won't be all the time because there's things ebb and flow. So we may get things on track and something else happens, and then finances are a stressor again. But Janelle's going to give us some things that we can do, especially as women, that will help us have things in place so that we won't be so stressed about our finances and we'll feel like we're taking care of our future. That whole retirement concerns, she's going to touch a lot on that. So, Janelle, thank you for doing this for me, and it's all yours.
Absolutely. And prayerfully, technology will cooperate.
We'll see.
Oh, it's not even up. Okay, there we go. No. Okay. Protect her power, wealth, health, and living benefits, empowering women to build strong financial futures. Latanya, I want to thank you first and foremost for asking me to participate in this. Not always my cup of tea, but you know what? I'm grateful. I work for with a company called Five Rings Financial, where our core values are purpose, courage, character, energy, and love. That last one is my all-time favorite because if you don't have any love in your life, your health probably isn't that great either. So you do need some love too. And how often do you find companies that deal with your money that will show you love? So let's go ahead and get on into this. Let's talk about why we are here. Ladies, we wear all kinds of hats. We're daughters, we're mothers, we're professionals, we're caregivers, we're nurturers, we're leaders, we're bosses. And how often do we pause and ask, what am I doing to protect and grow what matters most to me? Today, we're going to talk about how wealth, health, and insurance with living benefits can work together to create a foundation of lasting security and freedom. Let's talk about the wealth gap for women. We earn less than men, and that sucks. Over time, we earn less because a lot of times as women, we take career breaks for caregiving, be it for our kids or for our parents or both. We also live longer than men. The bottom line is we need a different kind of financial strategy. These realities make it even more important for us to have a strategy in our accounts that provide longevity, protection, and that also will help with us having a peace of mind. What are living benefits? Living benefits is a type of insurance you don't have to die to use. Living benefits, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a protection for not only for your family, but for you as well. Let's talk a little bit about how that can work. With chronic illness, that's when you have a condition that leaves you unable to perform two of the six basic activities of daily living, like your bathing, your dressing, your eating, your toileting, continence, transfer, for at least, let's say, 90 days consecutively. If you have that chronic illness, you're going to need some help. You don't want to have to go into your retirement or into your 401k or your emergency fund. Your emergency fund may not be able to withstand a 90-day hit. So having some living benefits, this could be an option for you. Let's talk about critical illness. We're talking about heart attack, stroke, cancer, ALS, some major things. If you got one of these diagnoses, that's going to be a major hit for you. You're going to be in a this is a life altering diagnosis. And the last thing you want to be thinking about is how are you going to pay your bills? Because most of us have health insurance, but is your health insurance going to pay your mortgage if you get sick? Is your health insurance going to pay for your dog to get walked, your house to get cleaned? Having living benefits can give you options. Let's talk about critical injury. That's going to cover some devastating injuries like possibly being in a coma, paralysis, traumatic brain injury, or maybe even a severe burn, something that's unexpected. Those unexpected things happening are very expensive, and you don't want to have to face that alone. And when I say you're alone, I don't mean that you're alone personally, but when the money is gone and you can't do anything, you feel very alone. And let's talk about terminal illness. Here in Virginia specifically, that means your doctor has told you that you only have 24 months to live or less. You have a stack of money that you can go to take a trip around the world. You don't have anybody dictating to you what you use your money for. Because our typical life insurance, as they call it, is really, without living benefits, is really just death insurance. But when you have living benefits, it truly is life insurance. Because who knows, you may have a heart attack, and nowadays we don't die like we did back in the early days in the 50s and 60s because our medical teams have improved their advancements. So you're going to live. Most of us are probably going to live to be 60, 70, 80, 90. Some of us even may be blessed enough to live to be 120. Because I know some folks on here are planning on a minimum 100 years. But having living benefits as a part of your insurance plan is an amazing thing for your peace of mind. Here's one thing I want you to understand. In 2024, 67% of bankruptcies in the US were linked to medical debt. And a lot of these people had health insurance. When you get sick, 9 times out of 10, you're out of work. You've got co-pays to pay. You've got uh, expenses that your doctors won't cover. Where's that money going to come from? If you've tapped out your 401k, you've borrowed all the money you can from everybody you know, where's that money going to come from? How are you going to heal from whatever your ailment is if you don't have the financial resources? Living benefits can provide cash tax-free to help you navigate life's hardest moments with dignity instead of debt. This is a peace of mind. Wait, what happened? Uh-oh, I done gone all over the place. Sheesh. I got too excited, y'all. Sorry. I got excited because I got with the peace of mind and I flew. This is a peace of mind that you'll need to be healing. So you can focus on your recovery and not worry about your bills. Here's a truth that we don't talk about enough are health realities for women. 1 in 2 women are likely to face a major health event like cancer or stroke or heart disease in their lifetime. And I'm not saying that to scare us or anything like that. I'm saying that so that we can be prepared. That's why Latanya is doing what she's doing to prepare us, not only our health, but your wealth. They're tied, they're one and the same. And I say that because if you don't have your health, how are you going to gain your wealth? Medical bills are still the number one cause for bankruptcy in the US. And most of those that are affected by this, they had health insurance. But what they didn't have was the protection and the extra money for the copays, the out of pockets, the time off from work, losing your health insurance because your job lets you go. What do you do then? Having living benefits can be that buffer for you. And let's not overlook that financial stress is health stress. It weighs on your heart. It causes us not to sleep. It even takes away our peace of mind. And when your money is under pressure, your whole life is going to feel that. That's why living benefits matters because health isn't just about healing, it's about having the time, the space, as well as the resources so that you can heal completely, mentally as well as physically. We all deserve a plan that protects both our body and our bank accounts. Living benefits gives you that option so that your diagnosis doesn't have to become not only a death sentence, but it doesn't have to become a debt sentence either. Where health meets wellness. Here's a possible strategy that could work for you. First, our living benefits can offer tax advantage growth potential. That means your money can grow over time, often tax deferred. So it's working in the background while you're quietly building a foundation for your financial strength. So you have your money working for you instead of you only working for your money. That's where you want to get it to, so that your money is working for you instead of you always working for it. Second, there can be a cash value asset. A- a- mm, Access. Life happens. You have emergencies, you have opportunities. The unexpected can happen at any time. You can access the cash in your policy when you need it. And the best part of that is you don't have to jump through hoops and you don't have to worry about penalties, because if you have a 401k and you need it before you're 59 and a half, that money is going to be the most expensive money you've ever taken. But with living benefits, you don't have to worry about that. Third, it could provide supplemental retirement income. This could possibly be a help for you to fill in the gap and add flexibility to your retirement. Maybe you've been working for quite a while. Maybe you had a health scare and you didn't have living benefits at the time. And you've gotten back, you're making the big bucks now. You've covered the losses that you had, but you can't live exactly the way you had in mind. Maybe you won't be able to live on the beach. But if you had a policy that had some extra cash values happening and growing in the background while you're still healthy and working again, this could be an option for you. You deserve to have flexibility in your retirement years. You should be able to retire with confidence so that you should not have to survive retirement. You should be able to thrive in retirement. You should be able to walk out and see the sights that you want to see. If you want to live on the beach, you should be able to do that. And having some living benefits can help with those options. Lastly, it allows you to leave a legacy, a tax-free gift of love that lives on after you're gone, whether it's for your children, your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephew, whatever the cause that's close to your heart, whatever's important to you. Your policy could become a powerful tool that can be used to have a generational impact. When we're talking about building wealth, we're not just talking about big, immaculate numbers. We're talking about creating a life that supports your health, it supports your peace, and it can also support your purpose, whatever's important to you, because you deserve both. You deserve health and wellness. Before I talk about this particular screen here, I want to tell you about a story of one of our partners, my business partner's clients. Her name is Andrea, and she had come to a Wine Women in Wealth that we have, which is a free event that's a little bit of networking, a little bit of financial education, and it's a whole bunch of fun and girls' night out or in, depending on whether you join us in person or online. Andrea, when she first met my colleague, was about 41 years old. She was in supreme health. She was single, and she was told that she didn't need life insurance. But here's the problem with that. Because she's single, that means there's nobody else to help take care of her if she got sick. Andrea was a smart cookie. She recognized that she did need those living benefits. And thank God she did realize that. She took out a policy for about $250,000. And just before the pandemic, she had called my coworker to let her know that she had been diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. Now, mind you, when she was 41 and got this policy, she was in immaculate health. So she got one of our best ratings. So she paid less than $1,000 over about a 4-year period. So with stage 4 breast cancer, that was pretty serious. She was able to get over $212,000 in return from her policy. She didn't need all of that money, so they did take a portion of it and put it aside for retirement for her. And when she started her chemo, or actually finished up her chemo, was at the height of COVID-19. But because she had those living benefits, she didn't have to rush back to work. How many of you can stay home for almost 3 years and not work? That's what living benefits did for her. She was able to stay home with her compromised immune system and heal. She was able to buy the foods that she needed to eat to help heal her body. She was able to get those wonderful massages to help heal her body, not only her body, but to help heal her mind. Because I'm sure, I know I would have been a hot mess finding out that I have stage 4 breast cancer. But living benefits helped her to live. It didn't cure her, but it helped her to have the best life possible for her. She's doing great now. But she did say that when she was going through chemotherapy, she met a lot of people that were so stressed because they didn't know how they were going to make things happen, how they were going to make their ends meet because they didn't have that extra income. They didn't have that extra cash. And in return, that meant their body was still in fight or flight mode. They weren't able to heal. That's why living benefits are important. They help you to be able to focus on what you need to focus on. And a lot of times that may be just us healing. So let's talk about why the strategy makes sense for women, especially. First and foremost, I want you to know it's affordable, it's flexible. A lot of people think that, oh, these living benefits probably going to jack the price up 60, 70, 80, $600 or something. They're almost the same exact price as insurance policies without them. You don't have to be wealthy to start building wealth, but you do need a plan in place so that your budget can grow with your goals. Living benefits are not is not your grandma's insurance. It's a modern, multi-purpose, and it's built for living. And it's not for what if, it's for when. You're not just buying coverage, you're building in options for yourself and for your life, and possibly even for your loved ones. Third, living benefits insurance policies can grow with you, whether you're single, you're married, you're a caregiver, or you're retired. It's just this plan will adjust to your life seasons. Most importantly, it puts financial empowerment right in your hands. You don't have to depend on somebody else. You're not waiting for someone else to secure your future. You can be in control. You can have that power today. Smart money strategies. Let's bring us all together now. Everybody deserves a plan that's not just smart, but strategic. It should be flexible and it should be built around your values. Here's what a smart money strategy can look like. First, we protect your health and your income because your ability to earn is your greatest asset. And your health is the foundation of everything. Because without that health, How are you going to build wealth? Living benefits makes sure that one diagnosis does not destroy your financial house. Second, you can grow wealth with a purpose. It isn't about stacking the dollars and having the bag. It's about creating options with tax advantages and access to cash value. You're building wealth that works for you. And third, you can leave a legacy of giving, whether it's family, faith, or a cause that's important to you. Your policy can make sure your impact lasts way after you're gone. And finally, you should live well and retire strong because retirement should feel like freedom and not fear. With the right strategy, you can enjoy your life today and feel secure about your tomorrow. Your smart money strategy is more than a financial plan. It should be a roadmap to confidence, purpose, and a peace of mind. So let's build something amazing together. So here are your next steps. You can schedule a complimentary financial consultation with me. We have events with Five Rings. One I mentioned was Wine, Women, and Wealth. And some of you were on earlier. We also have one event called Money 101, which Dee Myers will be hosting tomorrow in Fredericksburg at Hope Heroes Kitchen, Southern Kitchen. You can click the QR code in the middle. That'll give you all of our events that are in person and online. And you are her, so protect her. Shine boldly, live gracefully, because you are God's diamond. Thank you.
Thank you, Janelle. I appreciate it so much. It was really good information. There was something you said a few slides back that I was like, "Ooh, I love that." And of course, it has since slipped my mind. That happens a lot lately, so it's okay. It'll come to me 2 hours from now. But the whole presentation was really good, good information, and definitely um, tying in how we're stressed financially, but we can put things in place that will, when if life happens, if our health declines for whatever reason, the story of Andrea, how many people has that happened to where you're a picture of health and just 2, 3 years later, your life gets turned upside down by a diagnosis. And having something like this in place definitely can be the difference between beating it or succumbing to it. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah, it really can. And so I'll just let everyone know I do have one of these plans. I've had it for 8, 9 years now. And it's not something I think about often, but it's if when, I may be feeling a little off or a little sick and I'm going to the doctor and I'm worried. In the back of my mind, I do know that if I do be told I need to be out of work or something of that nature, then I do have a plan in place to help take care of me. So I do have one question for you, Janelle, and then we're going to open it up
Yes, ma'am.
to questions. So working in this field, what is something you see maybe on a consistent basis and you kind of wish women knew the information earlier?
I would say one of the main things that people think is that you have to have big money,
Okay.
and you don't. Because if you really think about it, people see like your Warren Buffetts and people like that, and they think, oh, I don't have that kind of money. Well, guess what? Warren Buffett didn't become a billionaire until he was like 50 in his 50s. If you take a little bit of money and save it continuously over time, you can grow it. That's how most millionaires are made. Small pieces of money, consistency is key.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions or any input, anything they would like to add, any personal experience? You want to open it up, chime in, give your own advice, something you've learned along the way, something that works for you, maybe tips on how to start saving, even if it's just a little bit.
Um, I just like to say that I think one of the biggest problems a lot of people have is not starting sooner. And what happens is you put it off. You get all the information, you know what to do, but for whatever reason, you won't do it. You keep putting it off. And the best time to get life insurance is when you don't need it. That's the best time to get it. And so I would say, if you don't go ahead and do something now, and like Janelle said, it doesn't take a lot of money. You go ahead and you start now. Start right where you are. Work with Janelle, work with an advisor who can help you because they will see things that maybe you don't see. And let them work with you, and then we can go ahead and get started as soon as possible, working on that wealth accumulation and setting up that legacy.
Thank you, Dee. Anyone else?
Um,
Oh.
I do. It's Tamika. Can you hear me?
Hmm.
Okay. I think mine is more so geared towards savings, coming from someone that at one point had no savings, which I'm sure we've all been there. But I think the biggest thing is start small and save something. I think we automatically think we got to save this large sum of money at one time, and we
Mhm.
can't see ourselves living without it. But even if it's just $10 a week, if you think about stopping at Starbucks or running through, for me, Chick-fil-A, running through the drive-through to grab dinner, that's $10. So just put that aside for yourself versus giving it to one of those companies, and you'll be surprised at how it grows.
Definitely. I agree with that.
Absolutely.
I think they say the average person spends about, is it like $25 a day that they can't even account for? So just on little
Hmm.
stuff here or
Yeah.
there that you don't even think about, and it could be adding up for you. So you do have it, but you're spending it in
Hmm.
places that you don't even realize.
Yeah, I can remember my grandmother would have like big bills, and she would say, "Oh no, I'm not gonna break it because once I break it, it's gone." And in her mind, as long as she had that 50, she could hold on to it. But once she spent 10 and it became 220s, that was it. It was gone. But it doesn't. They say cash is liquid, and it truly is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. If anyone has any other questions, or Janelle, you have anything you want to, one last tidbit you want to give us before we go?
Absolutely. We do offer free events that I mentioned. We have a Wine Women in Wealth in Fredericksburg at Park Lane Tavern, and it's the first Wednesday of the month. We would love to have you join us. We also have Money 101, which is a phenomenal program, aside from the fact that you get to eat, because I likes to eat, but it's an opportunity to learn how money works. And when you learn the money game, it changes everything. Because there's things out there that we weren't taught. We weren't sitting around the dinner table talking about. And with the team that I work with, I have amazing friends. I call them friends more than I do business partners. We can teach you some things about how to make your money work for you. And I hope you would enjoy it and join us. Thank you, Latanya. I appreciate you.
Thanks again. I appreciate you. And if anyone's looking for encouragement on their health journey, you want to be part of some challenges, just some little bit of encouragement, you can find us on Facebook. It's a group called Challenge to Change. You just search that and hit the, I don't think you even have to be accepted anymore. If you just find a group and join, we'll let you in and you can participate as little or as least if you like, but it's there for you. It's a support system, it's a resource. It's group of women who all live in busy lives and all have things going on, but we're encouraging each other to make time for our health, which is important so we can again build our wealth. At the end of the day, your health is your wealth. So
Mhm.
let's
It's your
focus
greatest
on
asset.
both. Yeah. So thanks for joining, ladies, and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.